What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing, I asked you guys in the last video to ask some Q&A questions. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and answer those. I got like 27 comments on there, so you guys asked a lot of questions. Not all of those are questions, some were just normal comments, but still, thank you guys to, everyone that asked the questions and stuff. So, we're not going to go in any specific order here. I'm just going to go ahead and ask some questions to myself and answer them. So, here. This one comes from Mikey Jock. I don't know if you guys are even going to be able to read it, but, I mean, it's not really a shout-out thing. It's more of a Q&A thing. He said that he's interested in the front spring swap. Are the coil buckets swappable? So, as you guys know, I'm going to do the 05 axle swap in the spring here. Spring, early summer, whenever I really get the funds to do so. Which, a thing about that, actually, is on the RYD Motorsports website, they make the kit. So here, to answer your question first, the coil buckets from the 05, I mean, I'm sure you could get them to swap to an OBS, but RYD makes coil buckets for the OBS to fit the 05 axles, so that's what I'm going to do. And they actually put a kit on their website the other day, basically like with everything that you're going to need, and then some optional things that really aren't optional. You kind of need them. It's gonna be a lot of money. It's actually, now that they put it in the kit like that, looking at it, it's gonna be more money than it originally looked like it was going to be. So yeah, that's to answer your question, no, like, I don't, they are swappable, but I'm not going to swap them on mine. I'm just going to buy the ones out of the kit from RYD. So, and here's their website. So you can see they have all the stuff. The coil buckets are $4.99 just for the coil buckets themselves, and they sell the entire kit. They actually have an air ride set up that's new on their website, which I'm not going to do because it is freaking crazy money. Let's see, how much was that gonna cost? The freaking where's their kit? Okay, so here's their kit. It's three grand. It's really gonna come out to $4 grand, but the air ride kit itself is $4 grand. So I'm not doing that. But it's $3 grand or so, $3,100 for the kit, and then they have all these other optional things, like brake lines, which you kind of need. You need a track bar mount, so you can get a weld-on one or a bolt-on one. I don't know which one I'm gonna get yet. Stuff like that. Coil springs, stuff that you kind of need. I might not buy through them, but it's gonna be about $4 grand for all of the supporting parts to do that. So a little bit more than I expected now that they've kind of put it all in a kit for me, but we'll see. Alright, so Nick Peterson, he asks, when will you put the screws in for the interior trim? And that, probably whenever I feel like it. I don't know. I kind of haven't, I don't know. I don't drive the truck much, so really, they kind of hold in there by themselves anyway. I'll put them in eventually, but I don't know. Haven't really been inclined to do so yet. I know it's been like 6 months like that, but alright, Dwight Foster, you ever thought of building a go-kart or a buggy? I think it would be awesome. Love the videos. Take it easy, man. I actually built a go-kart when I was like, I don't know, probably 10 years old, and I painted the frame and everything myself, and the paint job came out pretty freaking sweet. I actually don't even think we have the go-kart anymore. I don't even know what happened to it, but it was pretty sweet. I mean, I'd probably do one again, but I don't know. I'm not really doing anything else until this thing is freaking done, which it'll probably never be done, but at least once the axle swap and the exhaust is done and it has a rear bumper on it, because I mean, I gotta finish one thing before I start doing other things, or I'll just never I'll just never get it done. So yeah, probably I'll build a go-kart. Probably most likely I'll build a buggy with like a small block Chevy in it and like 35-inch tires or something, or maybe these 38s. So I don't know, stay tuned for that. That'll probably happen eventually. Like a custom frame welded up stuff, that'd be pretty sweet. All right, real news OCMD, how do you like your coffee? Well, to be honest with you, I don't really drink coffee. I kind of just drink energy drinks if I'm gonna drink anything for caffeine. But if I'm gonna get coffee, I go to Dunkin's and I get the frozen coffee. So yeah. Other than that, if it's not frozen and someone's like, hey, you want coffee, then just like, I don't know, black, I guess. But I like the frozen coffees at Dunkin's. Those are pretty sweet. How long have you been a drug dealer and what do you sell? That's from TJ. And they said, lol, just kidding, don't ban me. Well, I sell, I don't know, man. I don't really sell drugs, but I was going to try to think of something funny to say, but I kind of can't think of anything funny to say, so no, I'm not a drug dealer, but, alright, so, wait. Oh, okay, it's the same guy now. Not TJ, but the real news guy. What's the point of truck nuts? So, you guys know that I have these orange truck nuts down here, which they actually used to be pink. You can see they split because, you know, I just kind of sprayed them real quick at the bed liner. They were pink, and the whole point that is because since this truck used to be pink, I know if some of you guys are new, then you don't know that, but I keep this as a memory. The truck was pink before. So I just kind of saw it fitting to get big pink truck nuts for my big pink truck. It's just, I don't know, something I saw them on Amazon and I was like, you know what? Why the hell not? So I did it, and they're actually held up to the with a gun lock around the frames, like the side frame rail right there. So they're held on with the gun lock, but I don't know. I'll probably take them off eventually because they look like shit and they split. And oh, now I'm totally taking them off. Oopsies. Ow, fuck! I just stood into the bumper. Yeah, truck nuts really don't have a point. I just did it for the lols, but I don't know. They kind of make me annoyed now. So, okay, so actually, this is something I was talking about in the last video. Dustin Musgrave, he said, I think some models of OBS Fords have that speedo sensor on the T-case. So when I swap the 05 axles in, I'm going to swap out the rear axle also, as you guys know. And I knew that the sensor up top there was most likely for the speedo, but I didn't know for sure. So after I got off the video, that's actually my speedo and my ABS are both in that little pigtail that comes out there. So it's not on the T-case on my truck, it's on the rear end, as far as I know. So yeah, it's definitely going to be something that's going to have to be figured out, because I know for when I blew the fuse, if you guys remember when I was installing these lights that are up in my grill, I pretty much blew all the freaking fuses trying to do it, and my transmission was shifting really freaking hard because it, you know, messed with the speed set sensor or something like that. So I know that if I don't hook that back up, not only is my odometer not going to work, my speedometer won't work, and my transmission is not going to shift right. So it's definitely something that is going to need to be addressed before this thing even leaves the driveway after that swap is done. Alright, so this is the question that I never answer. Bassin boys, what do you do for work? It's really, someone asked this in every single Q&A, and I answer it in every single Q&A. This might be the last time I answer it. But, I mean, it's really none of your business. But I'm not a drug dealer. That's why people think I'm a drug dealer, but it's kind of the same thing. Like Dirty Max Jack, I don't know, you guys might watch him. I don't watch him so much anymore, but he doesn't tell people where he works. You know what I mean? Like a lot of YouTubers, they don't tell you where they actually work. So it's kind of a, I don't know, security thing. Not that, I mean, there's fucking crazy people out there. So if I go and say, oh yeah, I work at fucking Walmart at this location, which I don't, but, you know, you're gonna get fucking dickheads that are gonna call and be like, you know, do stupid shit. So I don't tell people that. Eventually, at some point, if this YouTube channel starts making me actual money, then I'll tell you, because I won't need that job anymore. But until that happens, you guys are just gonna have to wonder. Alright, so CJ Aherns, would you ever do a common swap on your truck? This is another one that I pretty much answer every single time I do a Q&A. So this truck, the motor in there has 67,000 miles on it. Really it's a little more than that, because the tire size, you know, messes with the odometer. It has more than that. The truck probably has like 75,000 miles on it, instead of 67. It's probably like that much of a difference. It might not even be that much. I don't know. Probably 70. Probably doesn't have 80 on it yet. Probably more than 70 though. So, no, this engine's been treating me great. It has the 5.8. I haven't had any issues with it. I mean, like, nothing, not at all, not a single issue with the engine in the last 3-4 years that I've had the truck. So, yeah, I mean, maybe someday if that blows up, but it's still well within the early stages of its lifespan. So maybe someday when that blows up, I'd swap a Power Stroke into it, but there's no, Cummins is not going in this thing. I definitely am not putting a freaking Cummins in this truck. No way in hell. If anything, it would get a 7.3, and it probably wouldn't even get a turbo diesel. It'd probably get an IDI, because I don't want to have to mess with turbos. So that's a pretty big swap though, and it's definitely not something that I'm going to do anytime soon. Jacob Matthews, hey, what wheels are those? They're looking nice. So these are the Fuel Revolver. They're a 15 by 10, negative 43 offset. So that's what they are. I like them a lot. The only thing is when I step up to a 20-inch wheel, they don't have any, you know, something that I've realized is that 20-inch wheels, they don't have shit for options. Same thing with 40-inch tires for 20-inch wheels. There's freaking shit for options. So, and I'm not going to do a 17, because I've done this whole game of running a little rim and a big tire, and it rides like ass, and I'm done with it. So I'm doing a 40 with a 20-inch wheel, and pretty much nobody can talk me out of that, because I have ridden in this thing before, and it's fucking stupid, alright? Freaking completely stupid how this thing handles with these big sidewall tires. So I'm not doing that again, because these are 38s. I'm going to go to a 40 with a 20 instead of a 38 with a 15. But yeah, Fuel Revolver 15 by 10s. I'd buy them again. Back to my original point after that little rant there. I would buy these rims again in a 20, but they only have a 6 offset or a negative 6 offset. They don't have anything that has like a deep dish style for those in a 20-inch rim. With the lug pattern, the 8 lug forward pattern, they don't have anything that'll look nice, because what really happens is if I were to get a 6 offset instead of it being pushed back like that and having that real nice deep dish look, it's going to sit like here. That face, the face of that is going to sit here. So not doing it. I'd do it again, because these are like my absolute favorite rim style. Actually, if you guys want to see the rims that I'm going to put on it, go to my Instagram. The new rims that I'm going to put on it, there's pictures of them on Instagram. So those are actually, I kind of like them better than these, but we'll see how they look once they actually go on the truck. Now we have 2 questions by Master One Solo. Will you ever buy a Mustang, and are you going to do any videos on the Firebirds? So, will I ever buy a Mustang? Let's answer that one first. Probably not. I've said this before, but I'm really not a Ford car guy. I like Ford trucks. I'm not really a big Ford car guy. I actually really don't like Mustangs because, I mean, I don't really talk shit about Mustangs anymore, like when I was a child, you know. But, I was a Chevy guy, alright? So, really not even so much Chevy, but more Pontiac. So, you guys know that I have, you know, the Trans Ams down there. My dad's got freaking like 7 of them. And, you know, they're all, you know, there's only like a couple nice ones out of those 7. It's not like we're rich or something. They're just freaking parts cars, junk cars, things that are going to be rebuilt cars. So, I'm really loyal to Firebirds, and to buy a Mustang, which is kind of one of the direct competitors, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Just wouldn't really sit right. I mean, the only Mustang that I would ever buy, if I were to buy a Mustang, would be like an 04 or whatever Terminator, because those are sweet, like all blacked out. Those are sweet, and I would probably own one of those, but not until either my Trans Am is done or I have a second gen Trans Am too. So I don't have a second gen now, but I want to get a second gen before I buy any Mustang. That's for sure. So, not that I don't like Mustangs, just that I don't know. I'm kind of biased, I guess, a little bit. I just like the Firebirds, Camaros better, and I like the Firebirds more than the Camaros. So, which is kind of a shame because they don't make Firebirds anymore, except for the the guys at Trans Am Depot make Firebirds, but they're freaking retarded money. So, yeah, I'd have to like win the lottery to get one of those. They're like freaking $100,000 for a, which they're really nice and they're super fast, but still. Then to answer your other question about doing videos on the Trans Ams, I tried that. The plan for this summer was actually to, my phone's ringing. But my plan for this summer was actually to do the, you know, put the new motor in the Trans Am, paint it, stuff like that. And you guys just didn't watch the videos. Like, I think the video that I posted on it has like 100 views and it's been like 6 months. So, I mean, I'm not going to build something and spend money on something if it's not going to, and make videos on it if you guys aren't going to watch the videos. So that's why I've just been kind of doing this thing. Instead of doing the engine and stuff on the Trans Am, I'm just doing, you know, axle swap, stuff like that. If you guys actually started watching the videos on the Trans Am, because I posted a couple of them, then I'd probably, you know, be more motivated to do it. But for what I've seen, you guys kind of don't really want to see those, so that's why I haven't been doing them. So yeah, that's pretty much all we have for questions for today. If you guys have any recommendations on videos you want me to do, I know some people want me to do more videos with the 2015. I don't really know what to do with it because it's kind of a stock truck and I'm not going to modify it. So yeah, if you guys have any recommendations on stuff that you want me to do for videos and stuff that aren't going to cost a lot of money, because like I said before, the axle swap's going to run me another probably $5,000, $6,000 once I get into wheels and tires. So yeah, alrighty guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for asking questions and stuff, and I'll